Hello Flosstube, hello all my friends. Welcome to my channel. My name is Margaret. This is Maggie Lou Stitches, a channel where we talk all about cross stitch, and I have lots to talk about today, as usual. But today, I want to start, we're going to go back in time. We're going to do some heritage cross stitch stories first before I go into showing you my progress on all my whips that I've been working on in the past 6 weeks or so, because I've unearthed some old finds, and one of them you'll see I was feeling so guilty about for so long, and some of that guilt has been relieved because I found a project. I'll tell you that whole story in a minute. But first we're going to go back. When I was last visiting my mum in Toowoomba, Mum who is 92 years old, still crafting happily. She's crocheting a lot at the moment, but she gave me something that she used to make, and it is, okay, well, first of all, she gave me this little needle book, and you know, I use this needle book, but it's just very cute. And she explained to me that she made it from this book, Linen Stitches by Ginnie Thompson. It's copyright 1987. So, you know, 1987, I was in year 12 and was knitting back then, wasn't cross-stitching at all. I hadn't started at all, actually. Before knitting was latch hook rugs, doodle art, colouring in, yeah, and stitching, so and knitting. So this, anyway, I didn't even know Mum had this, and she said she's had this for years, and she makes things from it to give to people as gifts. But so she sort of said, look, now that you're stitching and I'm not, do you want to take this? And I said, yeah, great, thanks. So let me just take you through it a little bit, because I sort of put it away when I got home and haven't done anything with it. And I got it out the other day just to have a look at it and remind myself about it and see if I wanted to do any of the things in it. So Linen Stitches starts with a little introduction that I think is quite some cute writing that, it always sounds condescending when I say things like that. Oh, how cute, just because it was in 1987. Anyway, she writes in her introduction, to be a cross-stitcher is to have an ivory tower always accessible. Pick up the magic needle and step into a world where cat litter, scuff marks, auto repairs and profit and loss statements do not exist. Overweight and split ends are of no consequence. The needleworker becomes a royal personage, sitting on a pillow, sewing a fine seam. For royalty has always practiced needlework. Strawberries and cream may not be forthcoming unless you personally come forth with them, and then they may look more like macaroni and cheese, but the image of magnificence is there in that tiny shaft of steel, in the best supplies you can afford, in the precision of the stitches. Cross stitchers know that counted cross stitch is the answer to everything. World peace, the population explosion, the common cold. For what it does not cure, it alleviates. As easy and uncomplicated as lacing a shoe, as exalted as poetry, this one stitch produces loving, caring, personal gifts and heirlooms. I just really liked that. I thought that was really sweet. So let me show you some of the patterns in here are little gifts. Now this is a little pin cushion, and as well as that, this is the little needle book that I use. And Mum said that's what she used to particularly make those. In fact, there's a couple of tops here that she's you know, that she made at some point. She actually gave me all the floss as well. It's Dansk Blomstergarn yarn. So she used to make these. This is pretty much the colour range. Oh, anyway. So she just used to make this, and she said whenever she wanted a present for somebody for a little thank you gift or just for any reason, she'd make up a little pin cushion or a needle book. They were her two main ones. What other little, oh, I love this. A handkerchief case. Cute, right? For when you're carrying around your little hanky. There was one other one. Oh, I quite like this ring bearer cushion. I think. So anyway, I thought, oh, I'll finish up those little pin cushions. I might as well finish these up. But then when just recently I made my biscornu and learnt that I really don't like the stitching around the edges, I started to stitch. This requires a chain stitch all around it, and I love doing chain stitch. I remember when I was in year 7 at school learning chain stitch in home economics. But my chain stitch was really uneven and horrible on this, and I don't know what it is. But anyway, I then went, they're going away. So thank you, Mum. I will do something with them. I don't know what, but I really like them, and I do use my little needle book, and I think this is just a lovely bit of heritage cross stitching. I mean, it feels funny saying heritage about 1987. It wasn't that long ago. Okay, so that's my first bit of heritage stitching to talk about, but this next bit of heritage stitching has weighed heavily on my heart for a long time. So let me tell you the story. I'll try to make it quick because we have a lot to get through today. Matthew and I got married in 1994. I will put some pictures up here of when we were young and gorgeous. And at the time I had one of my good friends was Lisa, and she was a lovely girl. I think I was 20, I had just turned 25 when I got married, and she was younger than me. So I'd say at this stage she was probably only 21 or 22. We became really good friends. And for my wedding, she feverishly stitched a cross stitch for me. And, you know, that was really lovely. I remember her bringing it over to me, you know, the week before or after, it was the week after our wedding. And she came over and she was so relieved to give it to me because she'd only seen the pattern and thought about stitching it like only a couple of months before my wedding. She just decided, right, I'm going to make that for Margaret. I know she loves cross stitch. So she just said, you know, we both worked full time. She was also an athlete. She trained and competed in triathlons. So she was a very busy girl, and she said every night she would just, every opportunity she had to stitch, she would just put these stitches in. She was on a time limit. Really, really beautiful gift. And so then I remember I put it away really carefully. I couldn't frame it straight away. And then we moved into another place, and I felt that would only be temporary, so I kept it away for a while. And then we moved to Perth. I still had it then, so this was now 5 years later. I still had it. It was weighing on me pretty heavily that I had never done anything with this. You know, I just thought, oh God, this is a bit terrible. But then we bought our house in 2000, and I thought, I'll get it out now. But I kept not doing anything about it. Sometime in the early 2000s, I thought, this is ridiculous. I'm going to get it out, and I am going to frame it. It is time. It's been too long. I feel really bad for all that work to just be sitting in a box. And I went to get it, and I couldn't find it. I could not find it anywhere. And oh my goodness, I just kept thinking, it'll turn up, it'll turn up, it'll turn up. And it never did. Well, recently, I had to look into some archive boxes of my old work, my biographies that I did in the early 2000s. I still keep the recorded interviews, the transcripts, the edited drafts that the clients did with me, all of that. They each have their own archive box, and I've got them stored. And recently I had to go out to my archive boxes to look in those for some old biography source material. And what do I find in one of those boxes? I couldn't believe it. What was it doing in there? What was it doing in there? So, you know, where are we now? 32 years later? 32 years. I did not. Let me show it to you. Now, her completing this in a quick period of time, when she was very young, you will see is very much in the style of the 90s too, is no joke. It has, look at all that beading down the bottom. Look at all that cryonic, the metallic thread that it used. There's back stitching around the faces. Look. Oh my goodness. I mean, what a piece of heritage stitching this now is. And it's just been sitting pristinely. Perhaps it's good. It's been protected. Maybe if it was up on the wall. Because all my other cross stitches that I made from the 1990s on, I always liked to frame without glass. And I've always said that's never been a problem. Until now. Now I'm looking at them and kind of going, oh, actually they have degraded. This hasn't. Well, I mean, not very much. Yeah. I want a spot for it. I'll think about it. Any suggestions would be very welcome. So, you know, my heart is still a bit heavy that it had this journey, that I didn't do anything with it straight away, because I should have, and I'm sorry it got lost. And 32 years later, thank you, Lisa, wherever you are. We've lost touch. I moved to Perth, I believe. She stayed in Sydney. And anyway, I'm thinking about her today. I've been thinking about her all week. Oh, no, I just thought about it. When I was doing that one, I thought of Liz at Stitch and Liz, because I love the fact that she started a wedding sampler for her wedding 22 years ago. Never quite got it finished. It's still a work in progress 22 years later. She said she got it out before her 20th anniversary and decided, I'm going to get this finished for my 20th anniversary. She didn't. So now she's working towards her completion on her 25th wedding anniversary. And like, I've loved over her last few videos, she's shown that and told that story, and I love that. And it's like, well, I can beat you, Liz. I mean, I didn't make this, but 32 years. I feel you. You can do it. Okay, let's go over to my whips, because let's start with a finish, because I have a finish to show you. I've got it pinned on my board. Here's my little Charlie. Here's my RTO kit, Charlie. Fast asleep, but always just keeping an eye out. And that is so my Charlie. You know, that was a delightful stitch. Very easy given the colour palette, and a bit of back stitching in there, you can see, for extra effect. And yeah, well, not just for extra effect, but all of this was back stitch as well. But yeah, hooray. That now goes in the queue to get framed, and that queue is just getting longer. Okay, first we've got Tall Birds by Durene Jones. Now last time I still had to finish this central motif, central square, and I have finished it. I had a fair bit, it was quite gappy. I've finished that. I've started the square and a little bit of stitching on the other one. This is on my favourite 32 count Lavender even weave, and this is just, I mean, look at it. It's a joy to stitch. Look at all that block stitching, lovely colours, sort of such, it's easy precision. Yeah. So that's my Tall Birds. Very happy with my progress there. Yeah. These are all, by the way, in no particular order. I've just put them here randomly, so let's see what comes up. Can you tell? Can you tell what comes up next? This is my boys. My boys next, my BTS boys. Where are they at the moment? I think they've just finished their Baltimore concerts on their world tour that I'm still following. Last time, poor old Yoongi didn't have a face. That his stage name is Sugar. You'll remember, so far we have RM, Gin, and Sugar. So Sugar is finished now. And it's just such a delight to get their faces in, because as you can see, the sort of the hair sections and the neck sections are boring, but their faces are fascinating to watch them get constructed. So like I said, we've met RM, we've met Gin, you know Sugar, and now you're going to meet J-Hope. I've started on J-Hope's hair. J-Hope's real name is Jung Ho Sok, and his stage name is J-Hope. And he's a rapper and a dancer. He's freaking cool dude is what J-Hope is, and he's gorgeous. Like, as in, he's a ray of sunshine is what J-Hope is, but sorry, cross stitch. This is on 40 count, 1 thread over 2 linen. BTS. Thank you, boys. Thank you. Next. Well, hello there. That's right. Here we are on my whale. This one's quite satisfying. I mean, obviously, because I've chosen to do it on navy linen, so therefore I am leaving out, you know, not stitching all the background, the blue background in the pattern. It's very satisfying because I feel like I'm getting to cheat. I'm getting to skip all of that blue stitching. So it comes along quite quickly. So that's my whale hello there. On, not my favorite 16 count, Aida. Still not a big fan of this. It's funny with this one. It's not my favorite to stitch at all, but gosh, I love the result. So I'm very happy with that, and will continue to be very happy with that. Moving on. Let's just get through this. Oh, I've got a new start to show you now. New start. This is a new start that I am making for my niece. And I have many nieces. They will need to guess which one this is because they will know as soon as they see this, I think. Wait. This is Aquarius. So whichever niece of mine is an Aquarius, it's getting this, and she knows who it is. This is Aquarius, art by Inkjoy Creations, charted by Stitch is So Beautiful. And this is a free chart on her Facebook group. And I've decided to start this one because I love it. It's quite a small full coverage. It's 78,000 stitches, which is, you know, still got to do every one of those 78,000 stitches, but that's quite small really. As I will show you, I've made this start. So that's how big it's going to be. Obviously on 25 count even weave, 25 count, yeah, what am I trying to say? Easy guide, printed fabric. Fantastic. Welcome Aquarius Stitch, happy to have you. I am really, as I think I mentioned in my last video, I just have all my project bags stacked up, and every day is a new stitching day, and I just grab the next project and it's its turn, and I get whatever I can get. Some, it might be 100 stitches, it might be 600 stitches each day on whichever project's turn it is. And I did find with this one, I wanted to give it more than one day. I wanted to keep going. I didn't because I thought about my other projects, like this one. This is my Shoe Crafts cushion, tulip cushion. And you know, last time I had pretty much completed this top leaf, and so I've been working down here. And the reason, you know, it's working on such a strict line, I'm not actually doing the typewriter method on this at all. It's just that because this is a kit and came with the chart on printed pages, which I scanned and put into Markup RXP, but I couldn't join them. The connections weren't working, so I've just got them in as separate pages. So this is that whole section of tulip is the page that I'm working on, and when I'm finished this page, this page still, it goes up here. There's more leaf up, more petal up here that I'll be doing, and that will be the completion of that page, and then I'll move on. I cannot talk enough. Apologies, we had an iPhone storage problem there, which I knew. I had an intuition that has never happened to me before. And before I filmed today, I thought, I wonder if that'll ever happen. I should check my iPhone storage. I know I've got a fair few videos on there. I should clear them. Did nothing about it. iPhone storage came up today. I knew. What I was saying was this Aida is the loveliest I've ever stitched on. It is so soft. It is, you know, some Aida, no matter how much you wash it, is canvas-like. This is fabric-like. This is these puffy little strands of cotton interwoven. This is one of my favorites for that reason. Now that I know this standard of Aida exists, this is what I want to stitch on. That's my little pep talk for Shoe Craft's quality fabric in their kits. As opposed to my sweet little Dimensions kit. Oh, look at all those. Just let me move those out of the way. This Aida is like canvas. I do not like it at all. It is getting slightly softer, but it never will be like that because it's not made the same. But anyway. Anyway, this is my little Pussycats, Feline Love, whatever it's called. I keep forgetting to put things up. Hopefully I'm doing that because, yeah. And, yeah, I've just done all of this since last time. I already had the butterfly and that garden in, so I've just stretched this along and, yeah, and done that. And this is another one that, when it comes up, I kind of go, but I love the outcome so much. I think it's going to be the sweetest little picture. I think it's very lovely. And I'm trying to backstitch as I go. And there's, you know, many colours in the backstitch. There's a lot of white backstitching here and, you know, Dimensions kit. It's all the detail. But that's where I'm up to with that. And I shall plug along. I do enjoy them all. It's just that some of them I love and some of them I go, oh. This one's a little cutie. This is the one that I was doing because Charlie did it and she showed it and I liked it. So here it is. These are my little houses. There's going to be 4 of them from the Cross Stitch magazine. I'll put the details down about it. The first one did all the back stitching before I finished it because you know, they're just little guys. So I'm doing them I'm doing each block to completion before I move on to the others. But this is an easy little stitch, really lovely to have something that I know will be finished soon. And yeah, the colours are bright and I'm really enjoying this. Wonder what I'm doing it on. I reckon I'm doing it on a 36 count. Oh yeah, I think this, I reckon I'm doing it on a 36 count linen, and we'll see when I actually find out that information and put it below whether I was right or wrong. But I think they're coming in just great. Cute little guys. Oh, blue tobacco. This is what it's going to look like. Remembering some of my sequins. Guys, I'm loving this. I always have been, but I am more and more. Let's have a look. Because look at how now with the leaves that I've put in on the left-hand side, the density of the blue now compared to all the stitching that I was doing in the finer internal stitching is really bringing out the lushness of that colour. Very happy with this. So again, Zweigart linen in the colour tobacco, DMC 797. Let's see if I get that right this time. It'll be the first time in any of my videos that I have. And love it. See, that's why I have to stitch on all my projects. None get left behind. Not even this girl. This is for my other niece. And this is Floral Boho Girl. Coming along a treat. I think I say that a lot, don't I? But they all are. This girl, I was working all of this floral boho stuff got done this time. I think with her, I'll check the percentage, but I think I'm at like 48%. She is my most complete, the highest percentage finished of any of my projects. She's the closest to being finished of the big ones, and she's lovely. Still really enjoying her. 28 count Tiny Modernist Spring Watercolours by Fabric Flair. It's written on it, so that's very, very helpful. Beautiful fabric, beautiful pattern, beautiful niece. Happy with that. My next Dimensions kit is coming along pretty slowly. This is my profusion of butterflies. Look at those nerd hoop marks again on this very stiff Aida. Yeah, so I've got another. I had this one last time, and again, this is exactly the same where I scanned the pages in but didn't connect them in Markup RXP, so I'm just doing it as a page at a time. And these two butterflies are on this page. That's why this one doesn't have a little wingtip yet, because it's on another page. But yeah, lovely colours. Also, these are all stitched. So this background isn't, but the green leaves and the butterflies are. So, and lastly, my Angel of Remembrance and Condolences. My colour completing. I'm colour completing all the black. So I'm just moving along. It's very satisfying to do in a way, because obviously at some parts where there's no black, it moves along really quickly. So I'm just doing it roughly row by row that way in a kind of vertical typewriter method. Kind of obviously I'm moving up this row now, and I will just keep going. I can't remember what percentage I'm up to on that because I didn't prepare that. But Editing Margaret will know. Editing Margaret knows everything. She knows how this video went. She knows what she's going to cut out of it. She knows everything. Whereas I'm just out here on the front lines, just raw dogging it, you know? Gonna look at that for a bit longer. That's it, people. That is all of my cross stitch progress over the last 6 weeks, which I've been enjoying very much, and I'll just chug along. Might have some new starts next time. Oh yes, I might actually, because I wanted to talk about Stitchy kindness. So okay, like there's been a lot of Stitchy kindness so far because I started the video talking about Stitchy kindnesses, Mum making those things for people as Stitchy kindness. My friend made me my wedding sampler. What a Stitchy kindness. I won a little giveaway. Yes, I did. And I'm gonna have to put the pictures. Can I show them to you here? Sharon of Stitch Doodle gave away a couple of her little patterns. I say little, I'm really aware of when I call things little. Before I started this video, my husband and son were getting ready to go for a ride, and they were taking so long getting ready, and I was waiting for them to leave this area so that I could start filming. And after a while I thought, oh blow it, I'll just start filming and people can hear them, and I'll just say, look, they're about to go on a big ride and they're getting ready, they'll be gone soon. And I just thought, oh, the boys are going on a big ride. And then I wondered if when they're out on their big ride they go, Mum's at home making a little video. The way we talk about these things, it sounds condescending, and I don't mean it to be. Sharon's little patterns. Here they are. Let me show you these cute little seasonal angels. Okay, these are patterns by Stitch Doodle, Sharon Duncan of Stitch Doodle. And this is the Angel of Winter. And this is the Angel of Spring. And this is the Angel of Summer. And this is the Angel of Autumn. And I just think they're whimsically cute. In fact, she uses the word whimsy, bringing you unique, colourful, no, she uses the word quirky. Unique, colourful and quirky cross-stitch charts. So thank you, Sharon. Cuties. It's funny that I won them and I'm in the Southern Hemisphere, so I might have to actually change some of them, because like the Angel of Winter, whoopsie, let me show you. The Angel of Winter is has Christmas decorations. It's not Christmas. It's not Christmas here in winter. So I don't know. Maybe I'll change them. Maybe I won't. Who cares? we're a global citizenry. I get it. I get that it's Christmas somewhere in winter or in half the world, a lot of the population. So maybe I won't change it. But yeah, I've just told myself that I don't care. Not everything has to be Australian representative of like, no, it's not. That's not what winter is here. Well, it is where Sharon lives. So there. I'm going to stitch these just like she designed them. Anyway, they're very cute and I love them. I don't know when I'll start them. Could be next time, might not be. I don't know. You have to keep watching to find out. But speaking of other stitches, there is one other stitcher I want to give a shout out to, and this is a quiet little stitch channel, but I really have enjoyed watching her. She's been recording for about a year, and I would say the algorithm has not found her yet, but I have, and she's just a delight. Her name is Rachel, and she is the Stitching Knitter, an American Flosstube. She's got 14 episodes, and I just really enjoy her projects. Some that you've seen before, like she's doing the one that I love, that I was almost tempted by, but not enough, but now she's showing it, and it's from the 2025 Heaven and Earth Stitch Along. Whispers in the Wind, I think it is, Dandelions. Oh, I love watching her do that. So like she's got some patterns, like full coverage like that we've seen, we've seen around. And some others that I haven't seen before, some mandala type patterns, some beautiful like African ladies in, I don't know how to describe it. Go and have a look, they're beautiful. And she does beautiful knitting as well. And actually in her last episode, she shows a crochet dinosaur blanket that she's made for one of her kids, and yeah, she's lovely to watch, and I really enjoy Rachel the Stitching Knitter. So she's my shout out for today. Go say hello. Let's all give her a bit of love. Oh, Zentangle. I do have my Zentangle here to show you, but I haven't done any. I haven't done any in the last 6 months. Well, no, I've done a little bit. So this was the Zentangle that I'm working on at the moment, and it's not very different from last time, except the background. I added all those lines into the background, and you can probably see here, I started, see the white dots and the white. I started adding highlights and I started shading. So these have graphite shading in them, these don't. So I've only started in this one quadrant doing the shading and the highlighting. Oh no, and a little bit along here, along here. But I just slowed down on it, and I think that does happen with this part of tangling for me. The part I love the most is having a big open, a blank canvas in which to tangle, rather than having done all the tangling and now doing the highlighting and the shading. Like it's, I've talked about this before, it's the backstitch of cross stitching, and it makes such a difference, but I kind of slow down a bit. Anyway, that's where I'm up to. It's sort of, isn't it funny, it can look finished, but it's not even nearly finished. But that's the nature of Zentangle. You can keep going as long as you like, and I'm going to keep going with this one. Don't know when, because it hasn't seen much action. And the last thing I want to talk about, because I have been talking about books lately on my channel, and I've read some really good books in the last 6 weeks. There's one particularly that I want to talk about, because I just can't stop thinking about it. Now, this book, I also feel like, am I completely behind the times? Has everybody read this book and watched the series and know all about it? And I'm like, hey, this new book, and everyone's like, yeah, we know. It's called Station 11. And I believe now it is a mini series. I think it was made years ago, like 2022, I think. And anyway, I read the book. No, I didn't. I listened to the book, because yeah, most of these that I'll talk to you about are audiobooks, because I listen while I'm stitching. Now, and I'll tell you the reason I read this one. My husband was reading it. He goes up to the library every month and just gets himself a stack of books, and he just reads through them. And he came out one day and said, oh gosh, this book that I'm reading at the moment, it has me so grateful for this world we live in. And I turned to him and said, what? Coming from you, that's really something, because mostly I joke about his grumpy old man era. Like, he's really getting into like, oh, the world today, it's all gone to pot and people and it's whereas I sort of say, what's happening? Like, it's okay. You can become a grumpy old man if you want. I just didn't think that was going to be his trajectory, you know? But he just gets so upset with all things that are happening in the world. So for him to say, this book is making me love this world that we live in, I was like, I want to read it. What is it? And he showed me, it's Station 11. And I think it was written in about 2014, and it is about a flu-type pandemic coming and taking over the world. And except this one is much more deadly than COVID that did come. This one is, if you catch it, you die within 48 hours, and everybody caught it. And 90% of the world's population dies, and all of the infrastructure of society with it. And so it goes from the years before the pandemic breaks out, and it goes to year 20 of after the pandemic, of who's left and what the world's like. Oh my goodness, I enjoyed this book so much while I was reading it, but it has really stayed with me, and I think about it a lot, and it does help you appreciate everything about life. I would recommend it for that alone. Things like, you know, who loves going to the dentist? Not me, but imagine not having them. Imagine living in a world where you got tooth infections. Good luck. That's just how it was. Yeah, all sorts of things like that. Electricity, because electricity's gone in this new world. Oh my goodness. It's really good for thinking about stuff like that. Actually, so it can plunge one into a bit of an existential crisis, except the story's so good and the characters are so good, because the way characters are introduced, you don't really know what they actually have to do with the story or how they're going to fit in, and eventually that all comes clear, and so it really keeps you going and it avoids that existential crisis. But that reminds me, it must be a phase of reading, because I also read another TJ Klune book called We Burn So Brightly. We Burn So Bright, one of those. And it was actually another book. I read this before Station 11. It was also about the end of the world. A black hole is coming and going to destroy Earth, and they know it's coming because it's destroying all the planets in our solar system. It's destroying our solar system. So everybody knows the end of the world is coming. They have a rough estimate of how, whether it's going to be in 3 months, but it keeps speeding up because they'll get a news report that Mars is gone. Mars doesn't exist. All of the planets, they don't exist anymore. We're next. And so it's about this couple who go on a road trip at the end of days to achieve a final task that they've been wanting to do. And it's great. It's really, really good. I really, really enjoyed it. I did think, oh my goodness, talk about if you are sensitive to existential crises, don't read it. But it's really, really good. TJ Klune, I'm really enjoying his writing, their writing. And another one that I read, actually, I delved into a bit more of my favourite author, Niall Williams. I read some of his earlier work. I read 2 of his books from the early 2000s. One of them called this. Editing, Margaret knows, but right now I can't quite come up with the title. I half and half enjoyed it, because sometimes it was really grim in the reading, because it's set just before the potato famine in Ireland. That's going to be a fun read. And it's about a family that gets split up, and talk about tough times to not have family around you and to be lost and to not know where your sons are, or to not know where your mother is, or to not know where they all get split up. And so it's quite grim, and it's not the Faha series of books that I've talked about before are very funny. They've got such humour in them. This is not funny. It does not have any humour in it. It's just very serious. And so at first I was thinking, oh, well, this isn't quite what I like as much. However, it was still very good to read because his writing is impeccable. But by the end of the book, I found for days, I was so invested in this family and I wanted to know more. I realised it had achieved something very clever, which is a complete world immersion. I was so in it with this family and so invested in the whole generational drama. It was bravo. In the end, it was really good. It's just that perhaps I was expecting a little bit more Irish light-hearted humour to be going with these eccentric people. No, but it was rich and very good. So that was that. And I've read other books that obviously aren't coming to mind now, so, you know, they were good. But, yeah, mostly I just want to talk about Station 11 because I can't stop thinking about it. And I am going to watch the series and see what that's like. I don't have the streaming platform that it's on at the moment, but I'll get it. I'll get to it. But at the moment, I'm into my K-dramas. So, you know, I'm finishing a really good one. My Royal Nemesis. Anybody watching that at the moment? It's cracking me up. That lead actress, holy crap, she's good. That is the main, they're all really good. Anyway, I'm not going to go into K-dramas because we'll be here for a long time. Okay. That is another month's Flosstube, another month worth of cross-stitching that I got to come about and show you and talk to you all about it. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for listening, for sharing in the joy of this craft with me, for being here, for commenting, for coming and saying hi in the comments, for being my friend, virtual or otherwise. I'm going to leave you with some more photographs taken by my husband. Otherwise, thank you for joining me, as always. Now you go enjoy your stitching till I see you again. I'm going to go and enjoy mine. And everybody, stay well. Till I see you next time. Bye.